What's up, everybody? You're in Ian's Garage on the Lone Star Drift channel. Now, today I'm going to be taking a look at the weaknesses involved with doing a 1JZ GTE swap. Now, one of those weaknesses is right here. It's stock ECU. But I'm not going to get into that today. I'm going to save that for a future video. The thing I wanted to take a look at is this right here. That's right, that's a flex plate. All of the VVTi 1JZs came with automatic transmissions. And this is a real problem. The 1JZ automatic transmission has nothing wrong with it except that we don't want to use it. This is the usual solution to the transmission problem on a 1J, an R154. They came in several vehicles with several different shift housings and different bell housings. The 1JZ bell housing is the most common, bolts right up to the engine, and different shifter housings can be found to allow for different chassis. The problem with the R154 is, simply put, cost. They're about $1,500 now and they're not getting any cheaper. This means that you spend more money on your transmission than you do on your engine swap. Add in a custom drive shaft and it becomes a fairly expensive proposition to put this into your car. Fortunately, there are alternatives to the R154. Based off of the R154 is this, the Assen AR5. Same internals, very similar overall, but with a slightly different output shaft. This particular AR5 was used in the Pontiac Solstice and Saturn Sky Roadsters, and is a popular alternative to the R154 because of its similar size and shifter location. Allowing for a lightweight flywheel and a few other accessories, this brings the cost of the transmission for a swap down to a little over $1,000. A lot better than the $1,500 of an R154, but still not great. My solution to the problem was one of these. This is also an Assen AR5, but it comes out of a Chevy Colorado pickup of all things. Very similar to the Solstice transmission, the gear ratios are ever so slightly different. The shifter is in a fixed location, much further forward and much taller, and the bell housing's obviously different yet again. However, a 1JZ bell housing from an R154, interestingly enough still available brand new from Toyota for $300, will fit directly onto the transmission with no modifications. The input shaft does have to be modified slightly, and I figured that with this I would be modifying my transmission tunnel and possibly making a custom shifter to make this all come to hand nicely. The thing that made it all worthwhile? The $300 a piece price tag on the transmissions. Allowing for a lightweight flywheel, this brings my total cost down to about $800. As you may have guessed by the way I worded this wasn't the last solution I came up with. Now, I did actually buy the AR5 truck transmission. As a matter of fact, I bought two of them, a primary and a backup, just in case, because I found them at a very good price. However, I did come up with a better solution down the line. we've got here is a BMW ZF 5-speed transmission from an E46 330 mounted using a PMC Motorsports adapter plate and adapter flywheel to my 1JZ. Now there's a lot of advantages to this. For one, this 330 gearbox, which is good for upwards of 500 to 600 horsepower, only cost me $200. I spent another $80 on a factory drive shaft to go behind it that'll bolt right into my car, no additional work needed. This also means I can use my rear transmission mount from the factory right into my chassis, which will also help me determine the engine mount locations. While the combination of the flywheel and adapter plate cost me upwards of $800, that's not quite as bad as it sounds. All of my other transmission options involve the lightweight flywheel. My estimate's $200 to $300, could go as high as $400. If you think of it in those terms, this is actually only a $400 investment in addition to what I would have to do on any other transmission. When you factor in the saved costs on drive shaft and transmission, you come out far ahead of the game, not to mention the saved time and effort in the build process. Now we're still in the mock-up stages with this. This was a test fit, nothing's torqued, we need some different bolts, and there isn't a clutch installed yet. But fairly soon, we're going to be getting this whole assembly into the car. Stay tuned for that and much more here at Ian's Garage on the Lone Star Drift Channel.